I was not happy, to be honest.
You weren't?
No. First time, uncut, no music.
He said it in the kindest way because he didn't really know what to suggest.
How about football tryouts?
So I did a lot of sports, and I was a pretty tough kid, like really tough, like the toughest kid in my elementary and junior high school. I could beat anybody up.
If you saw a bully, like you wouldn't have any of that.
Yeah, I often would beat up bullies. You know, it wasn't like a Robin Hood complex. I just didn't like bullies. So, and then it got to be a point where, you know, playing football and all this stuff, my friends became between 6'2" and 6'5" in high school. And I was 5'4" in freshman. And then junior, I was like 5'8". But nonetheless, so I went out for high school football. And Coach Ogawa decided after Hell Week, which I barely made it through Hell Week, but I did, that everyone, 300 kids, were gonna all be in this big auditorium. And the job was, say your name and your status. Perry Shellmeyer, tailback. Richard Cox, my best friend, quarterback. Brian Grazer, tailback. Incorrect. And I go, I think incorrect. He says, cut. So he cut me in front of the whole, you know, of all divisions of the football team. So that was embarrassing. It was devastating, Coach Ogawa, to this day. And so I decided I'd go out for swimming, because that was the only thing left, and I could get out of a class. I didn't really swim much. Anyway, bottom line is, we have a city meet, which is a pre-city, where the city of Los Angeles was 65 schools. And the guy goes, Coach Wiley goes, Grazer, lane 8, 100 butterfly. And I broke the city record that moment.
And the enthusiasm from that stuck with you for a long time.
Yeah, that was good.
So I want to completely shift gears here and talk to you about the sports movies that you've been involved with over the years. I think I told you a little while before he passed away, we spent 2 days with Niki Lauda in Austria and Belgium.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that.
Taping an episode. Yeah. So how about Rush? Like, just what comes to mind for you from that experience?
In the making of a movie and in the cutting and post-production of a movie, it can have a remarkable change. And so Ron, you know, who directed the movie, his rough cut, like I thought, oh boy.
He said it in the kindest way because he didn't really know what to suggest.
I was not happy, to be honest.
You weren't?
No. First time, uncut, no music.
That movie really benefited from sound effects and music and style.
And then I looked at it when the music was on and the movie started to be different even to me.
Those things all came into play at the final cut of that movie.
When the movie was finished and he saw it, he said, man, it's one of my favorites that you've ever done. And so we're just always able to have this very open, honest conversation that also includes vulnerability. Those are really kind of the foundations under which the partnership has flourished. We're in the right business together.
Cinderella Man, and I think you guys actually screened that at the White House too.
We did. We screened Cinderella Man at the White House for George W. Bush, and I went that day because anytime I do anything, I pack in stuff. I met with Barack Obama, who was a senator, and then I went from that office to the #2 office, John McCain, which I think was Thomas Jefferson's. I met a lot of presidents, you know, in my, life, and I found that George W. Bush was really the most comfortable in his own skin. There was no president more comfortable in his own skin and more satisfied with his present job, being president. A lot of other presidents are also want other stuff. They're lobbying other things. There's something behind it. George W. Bush, he was so present, and he didn't need an entourage. He didn't have an entourage. He didn't sit with an entourage. He picked up his own tray, put the food on the tray, no frills. I thought it was beautiful.
Friday Night Lights?
Well, Friday Night Lights, I love that movie so much. Pete Berg directed it. It took me 9 years to get that movie made correctly. I had other directors that I just changed they just weren't right for me. But Pete Berg was just so honest about how he approached, Odessa, Texas, and football and small town living. So Billy Bob Thornton blew me away. I mean, that's his speeches, his style, his power, his charisma was beautiful.
The Pele doc?
The Pele doc never turned out to be as good as I wanted it to be or dreamed it could be. And I didn't know that much about soccer, but I didn't even see him as a soccer player. You look at Pele's top 10 shots, they're beyond soccer. They're some extraterrestrial force that's coming into play. Like, they're magical. And so I thought we were going to be able to capture that magic. And we did a little bit, but I loved the journey, and I got to know Pele, and I flew to, the Cannes Film Festival with him. He actually flew my daughter there. I said, my daughter's in New York, would you mind? And he said, no, we'll pick her up. It was like that thing. That was kind of cool.
How about the day sports stood still?
It was Chris Paul's idea, because he had it happen to him the day NBA stopped.
Yeah.
And he called me that night and he goes, I got this idea. It's the day that sports ended. And he said a few more sentences. I said, I'll get this thing done right away. Chris is a force. When Chris gets behind something, it happens, and it happens correctly.